guys, my name is Darla, and today I'm here with Amanda, and she's going to tell us about her beautiful build.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
So this is Baja Blast, and the story behind this bike is that the original bike is from San Diego, and the original owner used to take it down to Baja all the time. And it's been to EDR multiple times, and it had an old like serape painted tank. It was still a swing arm and the 6-over, but still pretty much stock for the most part. And then, so I bought it in about 2021, and I bought the hardtail kit, and it sat for a while. But the idea behind the bike was to maintain its sort of Baja history in a way. And so in 2021, I did ride my old Sportster, not this one, down to EDR and had a blast, saw all the choppers there, and thought to myself, you know what, I'm gonna build a bike. I'm gonna build a chopper and take it to EDR. And I think it would be really great to really theme it around San Felipe and Baja. And so that's what I did. The bike being very old and tired, so it needed a motor rebuild. So I didn't start the build until I think 2022, and after I moved. So I got everything ready and then moved my whole life. So everything kind of sat. Yeah, so then I started in 2022, took it all apart. I knew that there was some sort of power loss or leak happening, and then Jason, Powder Keg Customs, is a good friend of mine, and so he helped mentor me along the way. So I took apart, him and Audrey came over, and we tore the whole bike apart, which was a lot of fun, lots of extra pieces, lots of wiring, but we stripped the whole thing down to really only the frame, the front end, the motor, and I wanted to keep some of the original parts, so the brass air cleaner and the pegs and the points cover are all from the original bike, and the gold powder coated wheels. So it's like, all right, that's a great base. And then the frame, so I didn't weld the frame myself. I can weld, but I wasn't quite confident to...
Fair enough.
Right,
It's a very important part.
the base of the bike that's carrying my motor and my body, like I was like, I'm gonna hire a professional. And so I met Jake of Nomad Customs, and we talked about, I wanted to make it a little bit more custom than the regular kit. So I adore all the other bikes out there that are the Throttle Addiction kit, and they all look great, but I wanted to make it a little different. So him and I were chatting, and I also wanted to make the bike fit me really well. So I'm a little shorter, 5'4", and I know that when you have the 6-over and the hardtail, like it does bring the bike up quite a bit. And I really wanted something that I knew I was gonna be traveling on this bike a lot, probably alone, probably with people, but something that I could just move this bike around a lot. So we discussed raking out the neck a little bit, and then he suggested, well, why don't we just make a new neck? And so that's what we have, this really nice custom part here on the top that I absolutely love. So we did the frame. It was great because I could go up to his shop, and then we did like a roller so I could see how much I wanted to rake that out. He was really helpful, really collaborative. And then it became time to start the motor rebuild. So that was really fun and scary at the same time. I'd never done it. I think the most that I had done is rebuild the carb like on the 90. And so I remember just saying one day, you know what, I'm tired of waiting on this bike. I'm just gonna go in and do it. And so I went into the garage. It's summer, it's hot as balls. And I'm sweating, and I'm starting to take the covers off and the heads off. And then I'm texting Jason, and I'm like, hey, what do I do? He's like, well, did you loosen the bolts slowly and like in a star pattern? And I said, no. So I was really afraid that I bent the push rods, but the motor had been sitting for so long that I don't think there was any compression. So that's fine. But it definitely like scared me, but it was fine. And so I continued to take it apart, and in the beginning of a build, you're really good about like labeling everything and like putting all the stuff in cardboard and all that, and it was really organized. And then I think it's funny, this bike had been to Baja multiple times because you could tell, like it was covered in sand, the valves were pitted completely, it was a mess. But I he showed me how to relap the valves. So I relapped the valves. We replaced all the seals. Then we replaced the piston rings. The pistons were absolutely coated in carbon, so those had to be ultrasonic cleaned and all of that. Now they're nice and shiny. New piston rings. Jason helped me hone the cylinders. I was a little too chicken to do that. I was like, you do that, because I don't want to buy new jugs. And then it became time to think about the paint. And so Baja, being Baja, and then I thought about Baja Blast the drink and how that color is very much the color of the sea there. So I did this whole, so I'm an art director and a graphic designer, so I have Pantone chips. And so I took my Pantone chips and matched them to the drink, and then I took those to
now I feel like we should have had Baja Blast.
I know,
right
I
here.
thought about it. So all that to say, I took it, I got this color matched at a car paint shop, where I found a color that matched as close as possible, and did like a paint swatch of like 3 different colors, landed on this one, and then Tropical Glitz has this really nice interstellar gold pearl, so we put that on top. I wanted to really there's a lot of attention to detail, and I wanted to make it as clean and nice as I could, and so I did, and I regretted it in the process. I did Bondo work on all the welds, and it took a very long time. But I think it worked. Like, you can see some of it and some of it you can't, and I think it turned out really nice around this oil cap, and then on the neck, and then even on the front of where the regulator is mounted. It can be really ugly, and so I tried, and
it's also one of those things though that only you notice these things because you know.
Right,
and
exactly.
then if you never mentioned it to me, then I probably would have never even noticed.
I'm like, I shouldn't point it all out. But yeah, and then so the lowers used to be black. It's the original front end. I had Jason, he shaved those for me, and then an Easter egg on the front is those lines. They say Ein in Morse code, which is my dog who passed away right before I started this build, and she's like my soul dog. So there's little Easter eggs of her on all my bikes. But so there's that, and then I really wanted the things that were outside of my wheelhouse, I wanted to bring in my local people. So Jake doing the frame, Jason being a really good friend, but also a fantastic fabricator in his own right. So he did the forks, he made these grips, he helped me make these handlebars. So we actually welded these on, so he would bring his welder over and he would haul everything up here, and then so we did I welded the tank bungs in, and he taught me how to TIG weld, and then so then we did these bars in pieces, and then I sat on the bike and put them where I want them, and then tacked them all together, and then we welded them. So that was really interesting and fun. It has a fidget spinner on it. And then my seat, the paint, I had these ideas bringing in the Talavera pottery pattern, and I couldn't quite figure out how to make it look on the tank. I did a bunch of practice with pinstriping paint on metal, and just nothing really, it felt too cartoony. So my friend Kait, who has her seat company, Bad Gasoline, she reupholstered this seat for me and created this design of the Talavera, so now it's on the seat, at least.
No,
so
it looks really good.
I love it.
That's a good idea.
It's my absolute favorite part of this bike. It's my crown jewel, I say. Another cool custom thing that Jason fabricated for me was on the oil bag. On the other side, there's the turnkey to start. So it's not a push button, it's on the side of the oil bag.
Okay.
Which is interesting. And then I put a kill switch in there just to have I designed this to be fun and pretty, but also a trip bike, and I want to take this thing everywhere basically. And so I figured if I need to pull over quickly, help a friend or whatever, just kill it, because otherwise I'm grabbing the clutch, turning it off, because I haven't quite figured out how to find neutral while it's running. It's very hard.
Yeah, it's like when you're so used to having your lowrider and you could just see the little green light.
Dude, it's like a mini, I joke, it's my minivan, it's my grocery getter, she's basically a van. It's so comfortable. It's like a Honda. But yeah, so this is a lot different, but I do absolutely love it. It's my first hardtail. It's the first hardtail I've ridden, and first bike with a raked front. And honestly, like, it's almost, I think, easier than riding my softail because it's lighter and
Good to know.
yeah.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
So the 3 headlights, I love this for you. How did that come about?
So my friend Kait, who also made the seat, she has a fantastic swing arm chopper that she has ridden hundreds of thousands of miles at this point, I'm sure. She's taken it down to Brago and everything, but so she has the 3 headlights and calls it the triple nipple, and I adore it. So I asked her, like, hey, would you mind if I took your idea? And she said, absolutely not. So now we need a 3rd to complete the trifecta of triple nipple. So that's where that idea came from. Jason found one of these lights at a swap and sent me a picture of it, and I said, yes, absolutely, because I wanted amber. I couldn't quite find a light that I liked that wasn't $500 each, and I wanted 3, so I was like, okay. So then we found this one, and then I looked up on eBay and found a set of 2. And
perfect.
They weren't, like, somehow I managed to bid, or I sent the guy an offer for like $100 or something, and I got the other 2. So that, the light mount is also custom fabricated, where we kind of put the pieces together and then brought them over and welded them on the bike almost, and then we that was a whole custom fabrication for that, which is really cool. I'm gonna polish it someday. And then the sissy bar this is the kit sissy bar, but then my boyfriend helped me create this back piece. I had this vision of the lighthouse. So there's a lighthouse in San Felipe that to me is very iconic. It's on my arm. It was the trip to EDR. So I'd been twice, but the first time I went, it was a journey, from Sacramento down to Mexico. Had a great time. But I love lighthouses, and like I just remember this lighthouse very vividly, and it's very unique. It's a lot different than like a standard Western lighthouse. And I thought, that would be the best way to sort of to honor the town that inspired the whole build. And so the lighthouse is abstract, but we've got the lighthouse here with the brake light as the light on the top. So that's one of the little Easter eggs in it.
That's super cool too. I love it. And then, so how did you get started riding in general?
In general, so I grew up in the foothills and right along the track. So dirt bikes were sort of part of the culture, except I had a horse, and then my brother had a dirt bike. So then I would ride with him on my horse, and he would ride his dirt bike. I'd always wanted to ride I didn't get a bike because I had a horse, so it was like one or the other. All right, fine. And then my dad had the Trail 90, and he had another couple of these vintage bikes, like a Yamaha and a Suzuki, I think. And so he used to take me out on the 90 and then taught me how to ride on the 90. And so I tooted around on that for a while. And then I left and went to college down in San Francisco. Kind of thought about getting a scooter or something, and then my dad brought me the 90, but it needed some work. And then when I moved back to Sacramento, I had the 90, so I would ride that around town a little bit. Like I would just ride to Midtown to work and whatnot. But I was like, okay, I need something more. Like that thing doesn't even have a clutch. It's just like, it's very strange when you've been riding a regular motorcycle and you get on it. It's like when you get in a automatic car after driving a manual vehicle, you like hit the brake. Same thing. Like I grab the clutch and it's the brake. So it's funny. And it was really finicky. Like it's carbureted, and I cleaned it 100 times and I still couldn't get it running, or it'd die on me in the middle of town. So I hadn't really ridden a big bike in a long time. So I said, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna take the class again, even though I have my license. And so I bought a Sportster off the floor, like at the place that I took the class at. And I was like, I'm just gonna do it. They hate to see me coming because I was very firm on $10,000. I was like, no more, no less. And they're like, that's a $12,000 bike. I was like, no.
I'm telling you, it's a $10,000.
Yeah, it's $10,000 and I'll leave with it today. And I did. And so I rode the shit out of that thing. And that's what I rode down to Mexico. I rode to San Diego by myself a couple times. And I thought I would just be riding around town. And once I started going on trips, I was like, oh, this is it. Like, this is what I want. This is what I like doing. So I traded that after 8 months and 11,000 miles for the Softail, the lowrider that I have. But I also love building things and making things, and like I like to work on my own stuff. Softail, it's fuel injected. I was like, I'm not working on this. And I always wanted to build a bike and build something. So that's when I found this bike and decided I'm gonna do it. So the process was not totally backwards, but I had gotten the motor done and the frame was ready to go to be painted. And typically you're supposed to like put it together first before you paint it. And I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna paint it because I want to keep the ball rolling. And so I was gonna paint it myself and Jason was gonna teach me, but I think we got to a point where we're like, we just wanted to finish it. And so I did do all the paint prep with him. I went to his house and primed it, but ran out of time. And so then he did finish it and he did a really good job. Like, I'm super impressed with what he did. And I'm happy to show off my friend's work too. So someday I will paint, but I at least like got to see how it works and learn sort of the steps and everything that goes into it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it came out beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
The little like shimmer is so perfect.
Yeah. I think the plan is I'll do some of the Talavera pattern on the underside of the tank.
Okay.
And have like
That would be
little peekaboos of it at some point. Oh yeah, then I did the chain conversion as well. That was scary. Like I was doing it and Jason, I would like do it and I'd look at him and be like, no, keep going. I'm like, okay. And I was like, I'm always afraid that I'm gonna break something or like snap a bolt or whatever. And he's like, no, that's your tuition. So you gotta do it.
How did you decide on like incorporating this color throughout the bike?
The gold?
Yeah.
So I think I love brass and bronze and gold. It's really pretty. And the wheels were already powder coated that way. I had a lot of the bronze accents, and teal and gold I think just look really good together. And I think that color lends itself to the color palette of Baja. So I maintained that throughout as much as possible. I was really stoked to find that there are braided oil lines and gas lines that are brass. I couldn't find clutch or brake lines that were brass. So I did find these chrome white looking ones, which I think goes well with it. And then the brake lines are actually off-road brake lines.
Oh, okay.
For like off-road vehicles. So that was a great help from Zach. To repeat a little bit of what Jason had said, it's like, just start it, just do it. But especially as a woman, it's important to see others out there doing it and then have the support and help from other people. And so then to not be deterred that you didn't do the whole thing by yourself. Like I didn't know anything. Like I knew enough. I know how motors work and I tinkered around on some stuff, but reach out, find your people and have them help you and support you and guide you. And you might break something, but that's okay.
Yep. If you're not breaking shit, you're not learning.
I know, exactly. If you're not falling, if you're not breaking, like, yeah. But I think that's, my biggest takeaway was to just do it and to be okay with, like, getting help. But that you're learning. It's something that you're really wanting to do it, and that you will probably inspire someone else to reach their goal.
Yeah. It's all about community.
It really is. It really is. And then, Sportsters are a lot of fun, and they're a good entry point price-wise. Like, it's so hard to find a shovel or a pan these days.
Oh, I know. I tried for a long time until I
Same.
decided to do an Evo.
So, I mean, I'd love to do one someday, but yeah.
Well, thank you so much for letting us come interview you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. And if you're new here, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment for Amanda about the bike, not about how hot she is. Thank you. See you guys next time.